What a time to be alive. It's wild how one man's single tweet can bring down some of the biggest scammers on YouTube. Seriously, things are getting crazier by the day. So make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the epic downfall of Mr. Casino Man, Low Gangster Paul, and Mr. Fatneek. After DanTDM, our friendly neighborhood Minecraft YouTuber, called out Lunchly for being a terrible product that might give you brain damage, you just knew the boys from Sex Offender Studios had to jump in to defend their honor. The notorious internet crybaby KSI fired back at Dan's tweet with images of old DanTDM toys, saying, "Looks like crap to me," and that's when everything went downhill from there. KSI faced some serious backlash for comparing a meal that gives you lead poisoning and a drink mixed with Logan Paul's sweat to a toy for kids. But instead of backing down, he doubled down, embarrassing himself even further by tweeting, Dan was sponsored, then promoted, and made a whole video on MunchPack, a monthly subscription box full of food and candy, to his Minecraft audience full of kids. At that point, there was no going back, Mr. KSI, comparing a one-off sponsored video from 9 years ago, where Dan never claimed that candy was healthy, to a company he owns that actively markets itself as a healthy lunch alternative. That's where the problems start. Now, you might think that would be the end of it, but you couldn't be more wrong. KSI's downfall has already begun. I was scrolling through the YouTube drama subreddit looking for topics to dive into when I stumbled across a post titled, "This clip is being deleted across all socials as it shows KSI in a negative light for attempting to push a Sidemen NFT project." As your humble commentary YouTuber, I definitely didn't turn into Mr. Krabs in that moment. Jokes aside, the post goes on to explain that one of the Sidemen, Vicstar, talked on a podcast about how the group was presented with an NFT project and KSI thought it was a great idea, but thankfully, Vicstar was fully against it. This clip comes from the Fellas podcast, episode number 198, and while it's still on YouTube, that specific clip has been removed. I can't show you the clip or play its audio, because KSI might copyright strike my video, but I can break down what happened in it and leave a link in the description to the Reddit post so you can check it out yourself. They can't copyright that. So, here's what went down in that clip. Calfreezy asks Vicstar, "Has there ever been something that's gone so far down the line, and then at the last minute you're like, this just isn't going to work, we need to sack this?" Vicstar responds, "NFTs. Oh my goodness. This was during KSI's crypto era. We got this big, shiny presentation for the Sidemen NFT, one of 10,000. Back then, NFT projects were all about launching and making $20 million in a day. What happens after that? Who cares? You made your money. But we had this huge deck, and JJ thought it was the best idea ever. The other guys were unsure, and I was like, I will not let this happen. I had to do a detailed breakdown of every reason why I thought it was a bad idea, because I wanted to kill this thing dead right now. I did not want there to be a Sidemen NFT. He continues by saying, I do not ever want to make millions of dollars at the direct expense of fans getting nothing in return, just a useless token online. Plus, with all the businesses we have, if you effectively scam people or screw them over with one business, everything else loses credibility. What shortcuts are they taking that might make their vodka worse? It could have been disastrous. Our whole credibility could have been shot over something like that. Oh boy, Vic accidentally exposed Mr. KSI. Oh no, that's probably shocking news for KSI's fanboys, but honestly, I'm not surprised. There's a reason this money-hungry goblin started a business with Logan Paul, the famous heir to the Paul royal family. No wonder he's turned into a scammer himself. For the longest time, KSI was seen as the better guy and not a scammer, even after chugging Logan Paul's Chug Jug. There was no way you could team up with Low Gangster Paul without hiding something in your closet. Anyway, let's check out some comments from that podcast. Dang, you guys are deleting the KSI clip? KSI's management getting to these guys to delete the NFT part is low-key an admission of guilt. Yeah, exactly. Why else would you delete it if it wasn't the truth? You'd just respond. But either way, huge props to Vicstar for instantly preventing KSI from exploiting his fans while casually exposing KSI's disgusting idea. There's no way you guys cut out the clip of Vic talking about crypto. Now KSI's management is going into damage control, removing every repost of that part. It's like when the Chris Tyson situation broke out and people were saying Jimmy knew. Remember that picture of Jimmy sitting in Chris's room with that inappropriate photo on the wall? He had to get that part removed from the video. To be honest, that just makes you look more guilty. Now, what if I told you this isn't the first time KSI tried to scam his fans? Unfortunately, Vic wasn't there to stop him back then. In my last video, I mentioned how both Logan Paul and KSI have been exposed by CoffeeZilla for allegedly scamming their own audiences with crypto. In Coffee's video, he breaks down how they use their popularity to get fans to dump money into a certain coin. Then, once the value skyrockets, they cash out, making a quick profit while their fans are left holding the bag.
Remember when KSI posted this? All of a sudden, my XCAD bag is looking juicy again. HODL Gang then proceeded to dump $850,000 worth of XCAD over the following days from his wallet address. Zach also shared a picture as proof. A series of transactions from KSI's wallet were starting on March 27th when he sent that tweet. KSI started selling XCAD. The same day he tweeted he was part of the HODL Gang, slang for someone who wouldn't sell this crypto coin, right? But the story would die there. But then I got another message which changed everything from Zach. He said, I have one more KSI example with a different coin. Turns out on March 20th, 2021, KSI tweeted this. 2 NFT coins I'm very bullish on, Super and Earn. Any other NFTs I should look at? Now, normally when you're bullish on a coin, you buy that coin. But that's not what KSI did. See, right after he tweeted that, 6 hours later, he sold $174,000 worth of Earn token. And then 4 hours later, sells another $174,000. Now, if that isn't a textbook pump and dump, I don't know what is. He tweeted, that's the pump. Within 24 hours, he sells $348,000. That's the dump.
So, anyone claiming KSI isn't a scammer? They might need to get their brains checked from all that prime they've been drinking. It causes brain damage. I used to watch KSI when I was younger and thought he was a decent guy, but over the past few years, he's really gone downhill. It all makes sense why these 3 goblins from Clash of Clans are teaming up. One has already scammed his audience out of millions multiple times, and the other greedy goblin is trying to scam his audience too, just not as smoothly as Mr. Crypto Paul. It's like a match made in hell. Honestly, it's wild how many terrible things these guys have done, and somehow, they keep getting away with it. That's it for me on this one. If these money-hungry goblins try to pull something else, I'll let you guys know. Until then, feel free to check out one of my other videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.
So does this mean that they have slaves make the Feastables? Or that there's pieces of slaves in the Feastables and they're like part of the recipe? Like, because I don't know which one it is. Why not both? That's a good point.